Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you a new functionality that we already have in Aggregatus that is called CSS Wizard. When you create a collection in Aggregatus, the most challenging and hard part of it is to provide a proper CSS selectors for data sources. To make this process easier, this CSS Wizard tool has been provided. Alright, let me show you how it works. I've created a test collection, let's call it Nike shoes. I also created several data properties in it, like title and image, and I also added a data source, Nike, and you can see that I'm trying to get information from this page, from men's shoes catalog. And so basically what Aggregatus will do, it will get into this page, it will visit all its links, it will open every shoes page, like this one, for example, and it will try to get information from each page like that. So here we have two data properties for this collection, is title and image, and the most challenging task for now is to provide a proper CSS selector so that Aggregatus could fetch this information about image, about title from the page like that, right? Okay. In order to get these selectors automatically, we have a new tool here that is called CSS Wizard. Once you click on it, you can see this CSS Wizard window. And what we have here is URL field. You can provide URL of the page you want to scrape. Let's go and fetch it. Once the page is loaded, you'll be able to click on the element on this page, and CSS Selector will be detected automatically. So you can see that elements under the mouse pointer is being highlighted, so you have an idea of what you're clicking on. So let's click on, we need the title, so let's click on the title, and here we go. The element I have clicked on is highlighted, and I can see here a selector that has been calculated for this element. So in this iteration it's pretty simple, it's just h1, and you can also see here that there is only one element that fits this selector on the page. So it's probably it's something that we need, this h1 selector. So you can press use it, and that's it. Let's save it, and this h1 selector has been detected automatically by our CSS Wizard. Let me also show you what you can do with this selector field as well. So this selector field works in two ways. The first way is when you click on an element, then automatically detected CSS selector is being displayed here. And the other way is that you can actually provide a selector here and test it. There is a test button for it. For example, I can test what element will be selected on the page if I will use just image selector. Let's test it, and you can see that all images have been highlighted. And you can also see that there is 60 elements on the page that fits your CSS selector. So what you basically can do is you can use this field and to test CSS selectors against this page that is being loaded, and it may also help you to figure out what selector to use. Alright, so let's press this cancel button to close this window without any change. Let's save this h1 selector, and let's move to another field. It's about image, right? So let's edit this field. Let's open CSS Wizard. Let's also use the same page we used before. So let's say I want to scrape the first image in this collection. Let's click on it. Alright, and in this case you can see a huge selector has been calculated. So in this situation you can see that this selector fits our needs. So you can see only one image has been selected by using this selector, but you can also see that it is quite big and it probably contains a lot of unnecessary information. Let's try to clean that up. For example, let's check what will happen if I will remove the class from the image tag here. Let's test it, and we can see that there is still one element, and this is the element that we need is being highlighted. Okay, let's move on. Let me remove some classes from this button element. I don't need background transparent. I don't need this class, padding class, merging class, and all these kind of classes. I just don't need it. It's probably will be enough to just have this grid image class. Let's test it. Alright, and we still have one element, and this element is still highlighted, the element that we need. Probably I don't need this button as well, so it's maybe any element with grid image class. Let's test this one. It's still one element and still one image. And probably let's try to remove this thing and test it. Alright, and we still have the one image, but in this case our selector is much more compact, right? And probably we also may remove this thing here. Alright, so we still have one selector and we still have it highlighted. Okay, let's move on and remove this part of this selector. Okay, and you can see that there's already 6 images being highlighted. This is not something we need, so let's get it back. So probably let's stop here. Let's use it and let's save it. The last thing we need to do with this image selector, we need to tell Aggregatus that we are going to scrape attribute src. So this is what we're interested in. We're interested in URL of the image, not the image tag itself. Let's save it. And this information about this attribute src is being placed over here in this page. So once you click on CSS Selector information, you can see here that you can fetch any attribute of the tag you scraped by using this construction, where name is the name of the attribute. Alright guys, I hope this CSS Wizard will make this collection creation process much more easier and convenient.